Hi all, welcome to Andrea DSouza's kitchen. Today I'm going to prepare for you a special Goan prawn curry which we call as Sungtam Beneachi Coddi, which contains either bhindi or ladyfinger, or at times you can also use tendli or gherkins. This is not a very spicy curry, and that is the reason even children enjoy it a lot. So you can definitely try it out and let me know how it turns out, because we love it. I'm sure you will too. And the reason I thought of making the Sungtam Beneachi Coddi today is because a number of you have sent me messages and called me asking for this recipe. So here it is just for you. But before I go ahead with sharing my recipe, just a reminder, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to like my videos. And also don't forget to share it with your friends and the relatives who love to eat Goan food. I have also started 2 new YouTube channels. One is Sleep Stories with Andrea DSouza, where I narrate stories that I have written, stories which are rather calm and relaxing and will get you to sleep very soon. And the next channel is Andrea DSouza, the English teacher, where I share tips and techniques on how to learn and teach the English language. So do visit both my channels and do share it with your friends and relatives. I have also added my new website address. It will be easy for you to go to my channels from there. So do visit it. That is www.andreamdesouza.com. So without any further ado, let's move on to our recipe and let's enjoy it. I've taken around 15 or 16 prawns and I've removed the vein from each one of them. Now this is an important step. I'm not showing you the process right now because I've done it previously, but do ensure that you remove that little vein from the prawn. In case you do not know how to do it, please let me know. I'll make another video in future. And wash your prawns well and add around half a teaspoon of salt and mix it and keep it aside for an hour or so. Then take around 100 gram of bhindi and wash it and dry it well. And then you cut off the top portion and the bottom portion, and then you can cut it into 1-inch pieces. I normally prefer cutting them in this way, a little diagonally at the end. I'll keep that aside and then I'll take my mixer jar to which I'll add 3/4 cup of coconut. I prefer freshly grated coconut, but you can also use desiccated or dry coconut. However, please note that there will be a difference in taste if you're using dried or desiccated coconut. There are some of you who tell me that you cannot grate coconut. That is fine. You can also cut it into small pieces and grind. But again, that has a catch to it. If you cut your coconut into small pieces and grind it, your masala is not going to be very fine. And we prefer a fine masala for the curries. So I prefer using freshly grated or freshly scraped coconut. To that I'm going to add half an inch of fresh ginger, 3 cloves of garlic, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, 1/4 teaspoon of jeera or cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of dhania or coriander seeds, and around 5 to 6 red Kashmiri chilies. Now do not be afraid of using Kashmiri chilies because Kashmiri chilies are not very spicy. They will give you a good color, but it will not add too much of spice to the curry. So you can use even 7 chilies if you like, that's fine. Finally, I have soaked around a little bit of tamarind in hot water. So I'm going to squeeze out the juice and I'm going to add only the juice of that tamarind and throw out the residue. And finally, I'm going to add a little bit of water and I'm going to grind it until it turns into a smooth paste. Do not add a lot of water right in the beginning. You can go on adding a little bit at a time. See, this is how it will look. Look at such a beautiful color it has got now. I still think it needs to be ground a little bit more. So I'm going to grind it for another minute or so until it becomes smooth. Here it is, just like this. Okay, so my masala is ready. So I'm going to keep this aside and I'm going to start making my curry. So in my pan, I'm going to take around half an onion, which I've chopped finely. To that, I'll add around a pinch or 2 of salt. And then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to crush them. until the onions have become nice and soft and the salt is mixed well with it. I'm then going to add around 2 chilies which are finely slit. You can add more if you want, but since I'm making this as a non-spicy curry, I'll add less. And I'll add around 1.5 teaspoon of oil, and I'm going to let it fry on a medium flame until the onions become nice and soft. Okay, the onions are looking soft enough now. So now I'm going to add this masala that I have ground, and I'm going to fry it on a very low flame for at least around 4 to 5 minutes until that raw smell completely goes away. Now that the masala is fried, I'm going to put a cup of water in the same mixer in which I had ground the masala, and I'll clean that mixer and I'll add that water here, and I'm going to mix it well so that there are no lumps. I think this is too thick, so I'm going to add yet another cup of water because we want our gravy to be a little thin initially, and once the fish starts boiling, the vegetable starts boiling, the gravy will turn thicker. So if you can look at it now, it looks quite watery, but that's just for right now. A little later it will turn nice and thick. So I'm going to let this gravy come to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, I'm going to add the bhindi and I'm going to add the prawns. At this point of time, you can also add a little extra salt if you want, but that is left up to your taste. Once you add the prawns and bhindi, there's no need of stirring it or any such thing. Just cover it, lower the flame to medium, and let it boil for around 5 minutes. This is what it will look like at the end of 5 minutes. Can you see how beautiful and thick the gravy has become? We prefer it this way. Some of you may want your gravy thin and may want to add a little extra water to it, but that is your choice. I will add around 3 pieces of dried mango. In the season when we get raw mangoes, we prefer to use the fresh raw mangoes. You get a wonderful taste with that. But since I don't have that right now, I'm using the dried mango. You also have an option of using Beneachi Coddi or kokum. But I'm not using kokum today because I've already added the raw mango, the dry mango. I'm also going to add around 1 teaspoon of goan vinegar. If you don't have goa vinegar, that's fine. You can add an extra bit of mango or kokum. It won't give you the exact taste of my cooking, but it will taste good nevertheless. I'm going to cover it again and let it cook for another 5 minutes until the prawns and bhindis are cooked completely. This is what it will look like. Looks rather appetizing, doesn't it? But still, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the lid aside and let it cook for a minute or two without the lid on. This consistency is still a little bit thin for my taste. So I want it a little bit thicker, so I'll let it cook. Okay, I think that is done now. So I'm going to switch off my flame. It looks quite thick to me. It looks just the way we like it. It can be eaten with rice as well as with chapatis or bread. So now that it is done, I'll switch off the flame. I'll cover it and I'll keep it aside. Okay, now this is how it is looking when I'm about to serve it. The gravy has settled down a bit and it has become thicker and it looks really beautiful. It smells absolutely amazing here in my kitchen right now. So I'm going to start serving this into a bowl, and then we are going to have it with hot steaming rice and some fried rava prawns. The rava prawns recipe I will link to the end so that you can find it. You can also enjoy it with chapatis, bread, poi, anything of your choice. It tastes delicious with everything. I do hope you try it out and do let me know how much you enjoyed it. I'll be looking forward to your emails, your messages, your telephone calls and the pictures of the food that you send me. Because this is one dish which I know that everyone loves and you will too. So enjoy it. All the best, and do not forget to like my videos and to subscribe to my YouTube channels. Have a great day ahead.